I'm going to ask anybody talks to leave because we're going to talk. We're going to listen to these guys. And they came here to do presentation. And it's very important to me to know what they have and what are they driving, where are they going. So their product is important. And I want to hear it. I want to everybody give it good attention. But Philip, we have that text number, the sheets. Yeah, go get the sheets. So because we have a phone number that you can text, and or so you can vote. So not only the judge is going to vote, the audience will vote. I want you guys shut down that phone on the vibrating mode or silent mode. In another note, I'm not a bad guy. My name is Sidney Armani. I'm the CEO of a company called Silicon Valley Crowdfund Ventures, and I'm going to explain to you what is a crowdfund. Welcome, Good Friday to you. Thanks for being here, this beautiful place, Silicon Valley Crossroad from the Stanford University. And I'm very happy to see all this nice startup because I was one of the actually people came here in 96, 97 heydays of the Silicon Valley. That was all exciting. And basically, could you close? When I came to Silicon Valley, it was very interesting. My English was not as good as right now. I came here and I see people from all over the world. And what was important is that who you are, what you got. Everybody didn't know, ask me, where are you from? Do you have an accent? I become an engineer, I come from Georgia here, double E. And so it was very, very, very beautiful here. And I go right now around the world and talk, as a keynote speaker, as a speaker, and they tell me, this is Mr. Armani coming from Silicon Valley. And I go to them and say, the message is, the reason Silicon Valley is very successful is that the people, the mix from all over the world, they have that love of the technology, love of the startup, love of make something happen. And so you can be a partner with Indian, Iranians, Chinese. You can be anywhere. And you come up with the products like YouTube. You can come up with products with Google from Russia. And that's the beautiful part of this energy we have in Silicon Valley. And it's because of the crowd. It's because of everybody out there, they put this energy. So I came here and in Silicon Valley, and it was very beautiful. And I came here and I saw Hotmail happen. I saw eBay happen. Somebody come from France, opened a garage, and moving, shipping the stuff. They used to go, that Mr. Omid Varpir used to go to the P.O. box and, and the post office and ship the stuff himself. Now we have eBay, PayPal. Two people who work for PayPal, and they go to the Starbucks in Castro Street in the breaks and start YouTube, Google, Airbnb, Uber. So we're in very special places. So when I go a lot of places in the world and I sit down and talk, London said, and they're trying to kind of a copy here. And I tell them because of everybody, they're blindfold of your accent, your other, it's just all about love of technology that we have here. So I'm very, very happy to be among Silicon Valley. And now I call my home Silicon Valley, and I live here between Silicon Valley, between here and San Francisco and everywhere. Now, what am I saying to this to you? Because I have a good news for you guys. Before, the traditional way was basically you come here, you had a product, and you go to the VC, you go to the show it somewhere, and the VC see it, Angel saw it, then later on Angel came, you go incubators, and if you had a product and you had something basically that you could get a finance, but a lot of people had products, they didn't go anywhere, and they had great products. Maybe the timing was right, but the spirit of entrepreneurship was there. Now, things are changing in a very beautiful way. And I saw it about 2 years ago when I was in Europe. I, by accident, I sold my last company. I was just running with the bulls in Pamplona in Spain and fishing. I was not even technology. I know about exits, so I get out and flashing out and just walk in the street. And so I got by accident somebody from Cambridge, Brian Zanghang, and he was talking about this crowdfunding and crowd financing, crowd collaboration. I said, what is it all about? So he said, come to Cambridge. So I went to Cambridge, and I find out things is very academically, World Bank's looking at it, a lot of other companies, and he's talking about Kickstarters, and he's talking about other things. So I found out this is very, very powerful, because with all the social media, everybody have a couple thousand friends, and friends has friends. So if you have a product, you can take it to one of these crowdfunding platform and actually get market validation. And this is very interesting, you know. So when you go, your customers will become your crowd. You come from your family, then you go to family's friends, and sooner or later, we have companies right here that they raise $750,000 and they come in to get the next round on the crowdfunding platform. We have companies right now, since the last time I talked about it a week ago, companies came up with some glasses. They went to the crowdfunding platform. They raised they got bought out by $2 billion, $2 B, by Facebook. So it's not about that raising money, it's all about the crowd, that what makes it important. So it's a market validation, it's pre-launching products, you can have products to be launched, it's pre-commerce, it's crowd collaboration. So if you have something interesting, they're gonna buy it. If you don't have something not interested, the crowd will tell you. I say, hey, you know, and I interview a lot of people that they were very successful in TechCrunch. I go and talk to these people, and I really enjoy it. I mean, I'm very glad all of you guys are here. I mean, I get goosebumps now because it's still there. I mean, for that. I talked to them, I said, you know, what's your best future of products came from? How do you did that? I said, well, somebody came to me and said, well, you know, and that Batman did with, you know, that and something like this is, can you do that? Can you have my things like? The crowd could be suggesting you, so what you can do, what is your thing? And this is a beautiful part of it. So it's not only money, but also, you know, later on, you know, also they can collaborate, they can help you, they can promote you. This is what's called crowdfunding and crowd financing. And it's very, very powerful. And I'm sharing it with you. How is that? Because for the first time, we have African American become a president, President Obama, because of the crowd $50 donations, not to go to this big country club and have $10,000, $20,000 of plates, get, you know, donation. It was those $50,000 that we have a African American president in the White House for the first time, for $180 million, under the $100 and less donation. So it is very important in the politics. It's important more in business. It's going to be much more important in the future. So I suggest you know, you talk with, you know, everybody out there getting to this crowd. We have companies, because it's all about the crowd, with Uber, Airbnb. This is a new revolution happening. And this crowdfunding at crowd finance or crowd collaborations is part of it. And I'm very glad to share this with you. You guys, there's a lot of things. If you have a great products, and we're going to hear from a couple of nice people tonight that they're working on that, and you're going to be the judge too, because we're going to have you vote, everyone. Philip, did you got everything ready over here? Okay, good. And so we're going to start with our judges we have over there, and we're going to go over there one by one, and we introduce them. Some of them very interesting, but the most important, the judge, is you guys. You're the judge tonight.
Sorry, I'm busy Facebooking the view from the judging table.
Tell me about yourself.
I am Nikki Kanotis, I'm financial advisor, most creative one you'll ever meet. That's why I'm at a crowdfunding. Do I do crowdfunding? No. But people I know and clients I have will want to use this to build their wealth. I manage wealth. I've been in startups. I've worked with venture capitalists. If we could have had that, it would have revolutionized us. And my old industry, I was in the gaming industry. It has had a resurrection because of crowdfunding. And guys who started 40 years ago in business are now having a hurrah because of people in rooms like this.
Good evening, Michael Ryan. Day job, I'm a traditional mortgage broker. And with the funding and everything else, I've been held back, as many are, by the lack of traditional financing that's available. I do also do the SBA financing, so I know daily the challenges that entrepreneurs have trying to access capital. So I'm constantly out looking for the newer, the more innovative ways to raise capital. Was introduced to this group here and have had just a great time the past couple of days with this conference, and hopefully many more to come. So I'm excited to see what else is going on coming out of the Valley.
Aslan is a very great story of you had. I mean, I was having lunch with him all the way from Canada come over here. It shows that how, great entrepreneurs here over there. We're gonna leave it to another story. I'm gonna have by the way, I'm a publisher of a news online e-magazine called Crowdfund Beat, and Crowdfund Beat is in 7 countries, so this is very international. In Germany they do that startup. In France they do that. We have in Italy, we have in UK, Canada. So if you want to see any of these videos we're doing with a couple of cameras, one of them is red. You can go to Crowdfund Beat and look at it on the video. And there's some other information there. Startup, I did interview in London, in TechCrunch right here, couple of success stories. And so introduce yourself.
Yeah. My name is Aslan Rekalami. I'm an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. My last company was an online business. I just sold it 2 years ago, been retired, been running with the bulls. I'm still running with the bulls. Looking for a space to kind of sink my teeth in. Crowdfunding came up, and I've been here for the last 2 days, and I'm honored to be here. I'll be helping.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Loftus, and I recently became the what I'll call the scout for a new group called the F50. And what we're doing is looking for the 50 most fundable companies in Silicon Valley. And so my job 24/7 is to help find those 50 companies. And we launched actually yesterday at a private event, and we're going to be doing some more. You can go to our site. It's f50.io. Again, Mike Loftus. And before that, I spent the previous year as the entrepreneur in residence at the Angels Forum. So I've been doing this for a while.
Hi, I'm Neil Weintraut. Let's see, I started my career in tech as a design engineer at IBM, then was a computer designer at Daisy Systems, then spent 9 years as a technology analyst at Hambrick & Quist, 13 years as one of the co-founding partners of Palo Alto Venture Partners, a $150 million VC firm, actually just located up the street here, and now I'm doing personal investing.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Now I'm going to bring our presenter. Could you guys stepping over the one by one? Okay. Everybody. All of you guys. Yeah, they got to see you first. We're doing it a different way. Okay. You introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Robbie Esley. I'm CEO and co-founder of Collusion. We run the most successful crowd-funded campaign to come out of Australia. We develop a real-time collaboration platform and high-precision pen for the iPad.
Thank you. And you?
Hi, my name is Vera. I'm a CEO and co-founder of Help Me Now, and it is the space for your wants and needs wherever you are. And in a more easy way, we are Airbnb for services.
Hello, everybody. My name is Richard Wimmer. I'm founder and CEO of Lilan. We're making interior ambient light solutions.
Good evening. My name is Rich Foreman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Apptology. We're an app development shop, but I'll actually introduce you today. We're rolling out a new product called Ready Edition, which will allow publishers to self-publish their content to native mobile format.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Fahad Aziz. I'm founder of Care Merge. We provide care coordination platform for senior living communities to help improve communication between different stakeholders.
Well, thank you. You may have a seat, please. Thank you. Okay. Now, I want to have, if anybody have any question before we start this, I want you guys have any question, I will answer it. No question? Okay. How many people know about Kickstarter crowdfunding? How many people here are startup? Let me see. So we say about 50. So you have a company, it's a startup company. Are you funded? How many people are being funded already? Okay, well, so we have people over 100. How many people are looking for funding? All right, good. Okay, we're going to start with the first contest. You're going to go first? Sure. Okay, come on in.
Hi, I'm actually not officially competing tonight because I won a pitching competition last week. So the pressure's off me in that case. I was actually going to demo some of our technology, but unfortunately Verizon, the network, is failing. So I can't actually share a cloud-based collaboration platform demonstration with you. But what I will talk about, because it sounds like there's an awful lot of founders and co-founders in the room tonight, is about our experience running a Kickstarter campaign, which led to quite a nice seed round, which has led to us moving from Sydney, Australia to out here and doing quite a large Series A. So I might just share a few insights in the process if you guys are interested. Yep, okay. So we spent 6 months planning our Kickstarter campaign. We spent a lot of time and effort and used Kickstarter as a focal point to focus all our energies. We were interested in the idea that we could use Kickstarter as a substitute for angel investment. I don't know about you guys, but I always found angel investing the most tedious, awful, gut-wrenching, soul-destroying process I could imagine. And having to wine and dine one person at a time and feel like you have absolutely no power. I guess the remarkable thing about wielding Kickstarter was the ability to find an audience, first of all, engage with them, collect feedback, but also they form the basis of our seed funding round as well. We didn't use a seed funding platform to actually get that investment because we had to deal with qualified investors, but it gave us an audience to actually build our investment on. So a few, I guess, experiences that we had. We were able to use Kickstarter as not so much for the money at all, but as a way to answer all the key questions that would be in the mind of investor when it came to doing a serious angel investment or Series A. What's the product? Fair enough. Do you have a coherent team that actually can perform and get stuff done? Well, if you manage to deliver a successful Kickstarter, the answer is probably yes. What's the price point? What's the marketing package? How do you sell this thing? So Kickstarter as a focal point to answer all these questions in one bang was incredibly useful. It focused the team, but also delivered most of the answers that we needed to become a decent investment or have a decent investment profile. By my mind, it probably saved us close to 6 to 8 months worth of effort of normal trial and error where you deal with one or two of these issues at a time and you learn a lot of hard lessons. So it's high risk in one sense, in that you're putting all your eggs in one basket, but also is a very focused process. So Kickstarter we found was very useful because it came down to a marketing campaign, a great video, and knowing what the hell we were talking about, because we had to stand up there and basically put hand on heart and say, this is really what we want to do here. We discovered all these things and forced us to build enough credibility with our audience to say, we can achieve this, and do you believe us? Are you willing to give us money to that end? So the way it worked out for us is we raised $100,000 in 4 hours when we started our Kickstarter, which was great. We overshot our target by 50% or more than, which was brilliant. We were able to engage with our users. We actually launched a private beta of our technology, and I should probably mention what we do. We decided to develop the highest precision pen there was for the iPad, and also a real-time collaboration platform. So we're interested in the idea of a better technology for taking notes, sharing ideas, collaborating and presenting. So we did that. We pitched it, we did a Kickstarter, we had plenty of bumps along the way and plenty of unexpected things happen. But as a model to actually substitute the process of angel investment, we found it to be a great tool and a very educational tool as well. The learnings were fantastic. So from that group, and this is probably the coolest thing that I've ever experienced in my entrepreneurial life of 18 years now. Grey hair's starting to come out. But what was really cool was this. So we successfully delivered our Kickstarter. We sent an email out to everyone who backed us and said, hey, we're thinking of doing a seed round. We want to chat to you guys about it. If anyone's interested at all, turn up at this time, this place. We're going to have pizza and beer, and we'll just have a chat about it. Quite informal, but obviously you need to be a sophisticated investor in order to come along. So we went up doing sophisticated investor crowdsourcing, which was an interesting experience. We were expecting 5, maybe 10 people. 120 people turned up. So basically packed out a room about this size, and I was up the front thinking, well, this is an entrepreneur's absolute dream come true. I have an entire market of investors in front of me wanting to put money in my company. How do we make some hay out of this process? So not to feel too cheeky, but what we decided to do was actually create some competition in the investment realm, where normally the shoe's very much on the other foot. You're whining, dining, competing for investment attention. So basically we decided to do a rank. We set up a Google Doc on the fly and said, give yourself a nickname, Mr. Investor or Miss Investor, put your pledge amount there, and we'll have a tally. We'll have a rank. So 1 through to 20. And the 21st person, lowest ranked, won't be able to invest. The net result was, after 90 minutes, we'd raised $500,000, which was basically the fastest seed round I've ever experienced. So it was quite a result. It was actually eye-popping in terms of being an entrepreneur who's done this several times before, to actually experience a ready market, an excited market, and a market that's willing to move was an entirely new thing. And to see and feel the energy in the room was pretty awesome. So there was no crowdfunding platform there, but we managed to get the effect. And I guess that's, for the most part, my story. That led us to move our team from Sydney, Australia, out to the Valley. We spent about 12 months here working on our technology, getting good, and getting ourselves ready for a serious Series A. So that's about it for me. Do you have any questions? Yeah, sure. Yep, very good question. The reason we actually didn't move to Silicon Valley. Our business actually started in America. We're a Delaware incorporated LCC to begin with, but LLC, sorry, not LCC. Basically, we have very little angel investment in Australia and almost zero active funds in terms of venture capital. At the time I left, there was almost one fund with an open early stage book. And they were actually in the audience that night, and they offered us different terms, and we declined because they were nowhere near as good as the crowd were able to offer. So that's why we moved. This and at Silicon Valley, I mean, this is the place to commercialize great technology, which we think we've got. So we thought the key opportunities that we're after were building team, finding strategic partners, and finding someone or some people who might find our technology interesting enough to keep building. So that's why we moved.
All right, thank you. Any more questions? Okay, this is another success story. All right, judges?
How did you structure the round? How did you herd all the cats?
Which one?
Series?
In the seed, the angel investment round?
Is there a board
the
representative for them?
so we had the Kickstarter, which was basically a no equity pre-order. So just like a normal Kickstarter. So there was no equity and there was no additional investors at that point. Basically just pre-order cash. The seed investment round was a simple C note. So basically we have cleanest cap table in the world. There's like 3 entries, which is wonderful. And I'm sure that's about to change soon. So
yeah, I have a question. when I talking to you actually with last of the, was you said some of your features came from some of your users and some of the people. How did that come up? What was the example of it?
Yeah, I think crowdsourcing the product is an interesting thing. I think it's a double-edged sword. You can get great feedback from people, but I also believe in very much the Steve Jobs approach of people really don't know what they want until they've seen it. So feedback about what your product should be from the crowd is very much a double-edged sword, especially when you're trying to do some deep innovation, which was our case. So we're trying to do something very, very new. And to say to someone, like, here's a wheelbarrow, what should it be like, and you've never seen a wheelbarrow before, is a very difficult ask to people. So most Kickstarters decide to focus their questions to the aesthetic, to the very minor issues, like what color should it be and stuff like that. But there are great insights. You never know who you're going to meet out there in the crowd. And weirdly enough, crowdsourcing winds up with very interesting individual insights, which we've used to make our product a lot better.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your experience, knowledge. Good luck to you. The second round. All right. Now we're going to be, thanks for sharing. We're going to get to the competition that we have, our sales show we have over here. And everybody has a number, so we're going to give you a phone number. And we have the judges, but we want the crowd because it's all about crowdfunding. It's all about crowd. Everybody, we have a one number. Every participant and presenter will have a number. So you call that number and you press whatever you want. So you can remember which number is. In the end, we're going to say that. We'll bring them over here. So you guys vote. You can call this number. Philip going to bring the number. All right. Okay. What's the number here? Okay. This is the phone number you call. So what is the first presenter? Who is the first presenter? Okay. This is... Yeah, no, I will hold it. You can come over here and just hold on and kind of tell about your experiment. Okay, sure. Here's it is. We have the judges, but you know this experiment. So, 650-600-3388. 650-600-3388. And we have done that. It's very interesting. And he's number 21. So don't vote now. Wait. Then we're going to bring them and hold their numbers. Then you guys vote. Okay? Go ahead.
I feel like an American Idol.
Hey, why not?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Fahad Aziz, and I'm one of the founders of Care Merge. But before I tell you about Care Merge, I want to talk about Steve Jobs. He has given us the technology and the gadgets. That has changed the way we access the internet, we communicate with our friends and family. It just changed the way we live. However, when Steve Jobs was being treated for his illness, he was facing a problem that he would have never tolerated in Apple. All the best doctors that were treating him, they were not talking to each other. To the point that his wife had to invite all of them to their home, made them sit in one room, and asked them to create a more planned strategy, coordinated plan to treat him. This is not a problem with Steve Jobs or with celebrities. This is a problem we all face. When we go to hospitals, when we take our kids to the doctor's office, information is not coming. No one knows where the immunization records are, what happened in the last surgery or whatnot. So information is lost. So this is where Care Merge comes in. We provide tools to help improve care coordination. So when we decided to build this product, we were like, where's the biggest pain right now? And we found out that the biggest pain is with elderly people, with senior, who have chronic illnesses and needs most care. So we went and spent like 6 months, me and my co-founder, in a senior living community, and found that there's so many people taking care of elderly, but they're not talking to each other. When the shift ends in the morning, no one knows in the evening shift what happened in the morning. So we started figuring out what the problems are, so we built this tool. But because of those uncoordinated care, there are now more challenges coming up. Aging. We have, in US only, 30,000 people are retiring every week. More chronic illnesses. And they are the one, the senior healthcare is the one that's most to the healthcare cost. This is where Care Merge comes in. We provide them mobile apps and web apps. Give it to the care providers, the nurses and CNAs. They use it, they capture when they provide service. So for instance, they gave them medication, they changed their dressing, they took them for a walk. They just captured, done, done, done. We take that structured information and through our authorization engine, give it to the next shift. But more importantly, we also give it to all the people who really care, like family members who are outside the building, doctors and whatnot. So as a result, everyone is connected. Everyone is connected and care is more coordinated. So in terms of opportunity, we're currently in senior living facilities, which is itself a huge market. There are 85,000 senior living communities in US only. But there's also a great opportunity to go to families. So we have family apps they're using. We can monetize that. And then there are providers like hospitals who also wants to get an access of what's happening with the patients when they're in the senior living community. So to date, this is the traction. Last year in July, we had around 6 senior living communities who were using our product. Today we have 130, and we hopefully in this quarter we're going to double that. We did our Series A with 2.1 million in July last year. Now our contractual revenue is around $2 million. And number of users are also increasing. Today we have around 23,000 patients in our system. We have a very strong team. Most of us are professionals who have worked in healthcare and in technology. So we built a very, very strong team, and we are here to execute. We have received a lot of recognition from industry and from the press. One thing I want to highlight here is GE. They went out last year looking for some innovative companies to partner with. They interviewed 450 startups around the globe and picked 13. So we are one of them. So they hold equity of CareMerge. This year, we are doing our Series B. We're going to start next month. As far as the senior communities are concerned, if we continue targeting them, we're going to be profitable by the end of this year. But we realized that there's more segments in healthcare that needs our solution. So we went into home healthcare, transitional care, and some other places, and experimented our solution, and they all used it this year. And so we need this Series B to expand into these different markets. CareMerge is at an intersection of the 5 most influential trends. I talked about baby boomers retiring 30,000 people every week. Social and collaboration, being able to let all the care providers and to talk to each other. Big data, collecting not only clinical data, but also wellness data, and so on. So it's a great opportunity. We are here to change the way we take care of those who really need care. If you want to participate in the next round of funding, please let me know. If you know any senior living communities, you have some relationships, would love introductions. Thank you so much.
Question from the judges.
Well, thank you for going first, and impressive what you've done. So hats off to you. A couple of different questions. One, tell us more about the team. You showed the pictures and the names, but fill out some of them.
Sure. The CEO, Asif Khan, he has worked with GE for 13 years, GE Healthcare, and he was the one who was writing the standards on how the 2 systems or 3 systems should talk to each other. And then we have 2 members from Relay Health. So they have worked with Relay Health in customer support and implementation. And then we have a COO who's a co-founder. He has worked with Time Warner as a operations for 14 years before he joined us.
What about you?
So I have been in technology for 13 years myself. I built my first app in 2001, 6 years before iPhone. And I'm building SaaS products for large companies like Toyota and Black & Decker.
Talk about the HIPAA aspects of doing this over mobile.
Sure. Great. It's a completely HIPAA compliant system. And it has clinical and non-clinical information. So we made sure that the storage of the data, the way data is transmitted, everything is encrypted and HIPAA compliant.
And who did the Series A?
So we had a super angel. She did a Series A from Europe.
And the tech stack on the cloud side, what's?
It's Node.js, and on the front end, it's HTML5 and jQuery.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the investment went into a U.S. company?
We are a U.S. company.
You
correct.
are a U.S. company. And, and the investment has come from a U.S. investor?
The investor was based out of Europe.
And are you talking about or thinking about doing a crowdfunding for the next round, or are you really thinking about doing a VC round?
It's going to be a VC round.
Okay.
What was I didn't understand, what was exactly your revenue model? How do you...
The revenue model is subscription. It's per month per bed in a facility. So a facility could be paying anywhere between $5 per person per bed up to $30 per person per bed, depending on how many apps they want.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
What other verticals are you going to use to expand on this model?
In terms of healthcare and non-healthcare,
None. Yes.
we're going to continue to focus on healthcare.
Okay.
All the workflows that we have are configurable, but they are for healthcare. So we're starting with senior communities, but now we're also going to hospitals through our GE distribution channel, and then we're also going to home health and other segments of senior care.
Okay.
Who are some of the people that you're looking to displace or competitors in the market currently?
So we compete mostly with voice messages, faxes, and all that stuff, because that's very common every time they want to send some information to hospital. But in terms of companies that are out there, there are EHRs and EMR systems that primarily are built for billing purposes. So they're not patient-centric, they're not collaborative, they're not used for communication. So when we go to these senior communities, we see them, and that's why we have started partnering with them now.
How does this conflict with the Obama Paperless Medical Act?
I don't think it conflicts with them, it just complements them. Yeah. I don't know if they have the technologies right now. I'm not sure about that, but since we have been more focused on collaboration, in addition to all that stuff, so hopefully at some time we're going to look at how we can help them out.
I have a question. Did you contact the government agency about your products?
No, not yet.
Okay, but you're attending to?
Well, we are talking to MCOs, which are basically healthcare insurance companies that work with the government. So it's not the direct layer, we connect through the MCOs.
How many people in your company? How many people co-founding?
So we are 3 founders, and the team is now 21 people.
31 people,
Yes.
full-time?
Yes, full-time 21.
Great, where's your office?
So we are headquartered in Chicago, but now we are setting up an office in San Francisco.
Oh, great. Well, thank you very much. Let me get one question, maybe 2 questions from audience. Anybody have any question for me? Okay, I go with you. Go ahead, but speak loud and get up and speak loud, please, so everybody hear it.
Do you think that you might have any problems once liabilities come into play?
The question was, do you think there's going to be any liability?
Right. That's a great question. So if you look at a senior living community where people leave their loved ones and they have no idea what's happening with them in the building, the only time they get a call is when there's an emergency. As a result, these family members file lawsuits all the time. It's a bit of a guilt that they have that they left their parents over there, but it's also this satisfaction, this lack of satisfaction that no one is taking care of them, right? So as a result, what we have seen that by building this relationship, that they have the app and they can see real-time good things, it helps them build a relationship and do less, file less lawsuits. So it's actually helping them instead of not helping them.
One more question. Somebody in the back? Okay, go ahead, sir.
Sure.
Okay,
So
the question is, because we have a video with it. The question is how important is that you put your senior level community in your plan?
how long it takes? Correct.
How difficult it is, yeah.
Right. Right. Sure. Sure. So I'll just give you an example of one of the launches we did. We launched 35 senior living buildings in 3 weeks. So it's that easy for them to use. We provide no training. We made the system as simple as Facebook, so it requires no training.
You got any salespeople contacting them? How do you get in touch
So
with
there
them?
are 3 levels of sales. So we have regional players where we call those people, then we go to trade shows, and then we have inside sales.
Which one helps?
All of them help on different levels. So inside sales helps get the mom and pop shops where you only 1 or 2 buildings. And the trade show helps get you regional. And then we ourselves go to Brookdale, Senior Living, Sunrise Senior Living, and all those ourselves.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
thank
so
you
much,
and for
everyone.
your time, and appreciate it. So the next we have here is Help Me Now. I guess I need to be helped here. And thank you very much.
Which one? Okay. 24.
Yeah, 24, same telephone number, 650 600 3388. And you have 637, you have 10 and 5. So
Thank you. So, hi again, I'm Vera. I travel a lot, like a lot. And together with me, there is more than 1 billion people traveling each year. And each time when I'm in a new city and I need some help, the best experience I can ever get is to find a local person who ideally shares same interest with me, who can then help me with some advice or provide me some service. This is why we decided to make this experience mobile and create an application where people who share same interests or lifestyle can connect to get or provide services or advice. So basically, we are like Airbnb for services, or we are like Uber for services. And right now, if you're in a new city and you need to find some local guy with a car to drive you around, or you just need to know where the best club is for tonight, you simply post your request straight on a map, get connected peer-to-peer to local people, and get help. We are early stage startup, but we already have our beta application that we are testing within our network community. We have really great feedback on the usability and other possible user scenarios all the time. For example, the group events, where you could basically crowdsource some services or whatever you need. We also get requests on integration with the current web-based services, and we get proposals from companies that we haven't really thought about at all when we just started it. For example, we got requests from the Q&A web-based service for parents, that is American-based service, and well, they provide to integrate, and that's also a great opportunity. Just imagine, well, when people traveling with children, the best advice they can ever get is from other people with children living here who know the community, who know everything. All right, so how we get our money? There are two entities in the application. There are reward points that people get for the advice, and then there are money that people earn for their services. And we, as a company, we charge from 4 to 15% from each transaction that is happening within our application. We are going to launch in San Francisco first, in September this year. And actually, San Francisco alone has more than 120,000 people visiting every day. We, of course, will focus on particular communities. Those would be travelers, business travelers, and tourists. Those would be newcomers and expats, as well as the students. After launching in San Francisco, we will spread to other cities in America, and then Europe, and then hopefully going global. Our particular users category that we are going to start at the beginning is people interested in arts, music, fashion, sports, and basically geeks and startups, like entrepreneurs. We are raising funds. Our first funding is 300K, and we already got 100 out of that, so we are looking for the rest 200. And our plan is to hit the break-even point in June next year with 350K users. That would generate us 3 million total turnover and over 80K monthly gross profit. We, of course, have very dedicated and very strong team. So there are 4 co-founders, and there are 3 more developers and 3 advisors who have great experience, like over 40 years experience in PR, marketing, and other social marketing stuff. So in terms of the co-founders, our CTO, he has been working in Motorola, and after that he launched himself 3 startups, mobile apps, one of which has more than 1 million users at the moment. It's in the media content area. Our CMO, Igor, He's been a creative director of many companies, and he actually launched the marketing for the LTE, for the first WiMAX and LTE network in Russia, which was also quite an experience. And together with him, we also invented and launched first in the world dual screen smartphone, which is called Toyota Phone. We got CES award from that, for that, and it is selling successfully in Russia and Japan right now. And recently we just finished another startup which was in the biotechnology, and yeah, that was a really great experience too. So we are the space for your wants and needs wherever you are. Thanks. Any questions?
Some question probably from judges. I know that. I have some great question here. Help me now. I need help. If I go to another cities, and usually I think it's a great idea. So let's get some. You start from we rotate.
You're going to be starting here in the U.S. Is the company formatted here?
Yes, we are a San Francisco-based company, and we are going to launch in San Francisco first. And after getting the first traction, the users will spread out. First US, then Europe, then globally.
Thank you.
Are you trying to be service-oriented and as in taxis or hairdressers, or are you trying to be services in finding a good... Well, I'm trying to digest that a little bit more.
Right. So we are a platform, so ideally we are for everything, but we are going to be more focused on travelers, business travelers, and so services like, I know, tour guides or sports instructors or anybody who could help you to pick up things or to do some quick delivery, things like that. So basically anything you are going to need when you are new to the city.
Okay.
Could this apply to like many different industries, or this is like, you know, as taxis and, you know, have you looked at to see what other opportunities are there?
Sure. Well, there are a lot of opportunities. We just need to focus on some particular area first in order to get started. But then, of course, we are planning to expand to other areas. Like I said, one of those partners who proposed to integrate the Q&A service for parents. So that is a totally new area, actually, because, for example, you can rent a chair for kids, for like feeding kids, for example, from other parents just for 2 weeks while you're in town. Or in just everyday situations when I came out somewhere and I don't have a umbrella with me, but it started to rain, so I post requests right on the map, like, is there anybody around with umbrella who could just walk with me to my car somewhere? So definitely we are going to expand to other categories, sure.
And is it right now in the beta test?
It is in a beta test, yeah.
How many people?
There are 30 people. That's like our inside developing community. Okay. So we're not yet allowing everybody in because, you know, we're still trying out some new cases, and it's a bit too early to. Yeah.
You would sort of ask part of my question. No, that's okay. You're going to quote unquote go live sometime in the next couple of months, I take it.
Well, we are going to open up our beta for everybody in months from now, and we want to launch in September, but for that we need 200 more K funding.
Well, that's part of where I was going with the question is it a chicken and egg kind of moment where you need to have the traction to raise the capital, and you need to raise the capital to turn on the platform?
Well, that's right. Well, we have a great idea and we have a great team. We have a beta application and we believe that's enough to raise the first funding. And after that, we have all the resources and all the knowledge to get the initial traction to be able to get the next big round and go global.
Is the 100,000 you've raised today on crowdfunding, or is it directly from
VC capital?
VC and what?
One venture capital.
Thank you. Tell us about you.
Okay, so my background is engineering. I have an engineering education in ERP and CAD systems. I've been working for Motorola as well, here in Chicago area. After that, I joined Yota, which is the largest WiMAX and LTE operator in Eastern Europe. And then we together invented the first smartphone that we were developing for actually more than 3 years, because there were lots of R&D and new features and things. And after that we launched it, and so we left the company and we started the new company, which is called Giro. It's a technology platform that is allowing you to analyze risks of chronic conditions on early stages based on the movement activities that is taken from the current activity trackers presented on the market, like Fitbits and Jawbones. And we finished that one, and well, basically because we were traveling so much during the last 5 years with all these companies, we just figured out this is what we need and this is what we believe in, so we decided just to jump in and do it full time.
How many team members do you have full time?
I'm sorry?
How many members of your team are full time?
So there are 4 co-founders full-time dedicated, and there are 3 developers. 2 of them are full-time dedicated, 1's partial.
The magic dust on a situation like this is indeed the initial beachhead, how you get things going. What are your thoughts, as in, what gets someone to install the app on the phone, expecting there to be someone on the other side that's going to give them useful information? So how do we get both parties to start installing this app?
Sure. So before launching in each particular city, we are going to work on PR and marketing in order to involve the initial community, initial users, to be present in the app already. Of course, those would be, first of all, students, international students, and young people who would be willing to earn some money just because they're local and they know things here. And after this initial work with like verticals, we are going to launch officially, so other people who are traveling and coming to the city who are new, they would get to know the app, they would log in and then see that, okay, there are already many people who could provide some help and advice.
Some of the value of any information is the author, where it came from, and both from a security side, as in you don't want to have nefarious people giving you information, but also, if someone's giving you information about something and they don't have a family versus someone who does, you get different types of information. So what do you expose about the authors of that?
So there are 2 aspects of it. First is our matching technology. So basically we match people according to their interests and lifestyle. So you first of all would get connections with people who are more or less share same things with you, like music or like, I don't know, bars, sports, anything. So second aspect is security. And we were thinking a lot about it, and of course we did a lot to implement that into the app. So there are several. So first of all, there is a security rating, so-called. So you as a user can download the app and start using it right now. However, in order to get the maximum security rating, you also need to verify your profile in several different ways. One of those would be through mobile application, through the SMS, the number, then through several different networks like LinkedIn, Facebook, Google+, and then finally you need to send us the scan of the picture of your ID, so we'd manually check that you is you, and then in this case you'll have the maximum security rating, so other users will see that, okay, we can trust this person because this is really the person he is,
Good. Well, thank you. One question from audience. I'm going to take one question, and he raised his hand, but come over here and introduce yourself, because we need to hear.
Yes, hi. I really like the idea. What I see is that it's useful, but I see the biggest challenge, or my question is, can you give some details on your marketing plans? Because you kind of touched on it when you mentioned college students. So what are you going to do, walk around and pick them off the streets? Because, this is a international type of plan, so if you can give some real details on your marketing strategy, that would be much appreciated.
I don't think she can do details at this time. Her time is up. And just give us a brief, what are you going to do international? I mean, I'm a college student. You're going to go to college and hand me out? What are you going to do?
Okay, so very briefly, in each particular city where we are launching at the first step, we are going to work directly with the communities, with the meetups, with the communities of students, musicians, artists, fashions, so all types of vertical communities you can imagine with the young people. And of course, we are going to use digital channels as well as our offline marketing channels. We have great connections. We have great advisors. We have connection even in Stanford University, and they're ready to help us to promote that. So definitely it's a lot of work offline and online before launching in each city. However, after covering the major cities, we kind of, yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah, we suppose that it would just spread because
Time
it's
is up.
very easy. And yeah,
Oh, thank you very much. And this has helped me now, and so appreciate it. I think one of the correction, we're in California. Chicago weather is not, I prefer here, so we're in California, you're still in Chicago. Good. That's right. You said you started in Chicago. I said, I'm here in Chicago. We're in California. Yeah, that's good. Just wanted to brought up here. I'd rather be here than any other place in the world. Chicago's nice too. Motorola. I wanted to just bring up something over there before we go to the next. But by the way, excellent presentation. And it's one of the things is that, between I couldn't help that you raised about $100,000. Okay. And these VCs and other judges and other people there in the audience, the biggest challenge is of VCs and angels is that when somebody comes over here, get about $50,000, $100,000, $500,000, and it's like already job done. I mean, we made it. We got the money. And worse than that, and I've seen that, you find this is a startup, you find the founders in the sushi bars, in the restaurants and all this, and that's not good. And this is just the beginning. The money is just part of it. It's up to you to make it happen. You haven't made it yet. So they like to see that once you get the money, it's just you have that extra push. So that's the problem. In that notion, I'm going to give we have mobility partners. No, you're not done? All right. Optology. Okay. What? Optology, and his number is 22. Yeah, exactly. It's just like you look like that guy sings very well. Okay, well, we're going to have a karaoke here soon, so welcome.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rich Foreman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Aptology. And this is just a brief overview of what we are. We're actually a mobile app development shop. We've been developing apps for over 4 years. We actually have over 350 apps published in the various app stores, in the various app stores. My team can develop on iOS, Android, BlackBerry, and we just recently did our first Windows app project, or Windows Phone project. In addition, we could also develop the necessary infrastructure needed to support the app. Our revenue last year was close to $400,000. We're a graduate of the Velocity VC Accelerator program, and we just recently won was awarded the Small Business of the Year award by the SAC Chamber. I'm also proud to say that we actually have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. And so what we do is we actually help companies go mobile. So last year we had several publishers that come to us, and what they wanted to do was they wanted to publish their magazine onto the iPad. And so you have to think about why would a publisher want to publish your magazine on the iPad or a mobile format? So there's a couple trends in publishing. There's been a steady decline of revenue for print. So literally in the last decade, hundreds of newspapers and magazines have folded. At the same time, mobile publishing revenue has actually increased dramatically. The revenue on Apple Newsstand actually quadrupled last year. So the major publishers have actually already figured this out, and they've already joined the mobile bandwagon. But what about the small publishers? There are about 70,000 small publishers in the United States, and most of them lack the expertise and the resources to take their publication to a mobile format. So what this also means is that they're unable to actually tap into the $18 billion mobile ad revenue market, and that's actually at a pace right now to exceed $30 billion this year. So for this reason, what we've done is we've created a product called Ready Edition. So with Ready Edition, what we'll do is we will create a native mobile app for our client, Afterwards, what they could do is they could take the PDF that they would normally send to the printers, they could actually upload it to our back end, and then it gets distributed to their own native format. I mean, it gets distributed into their own native app. What this means for our publishers is that this is an easy, fast, and affordable way for them to publish on a mobile format. More importantly, they'll be able to generate additional revenue through mobile subscriptions and mobile ads. In terms of what our business model is, our revenue model is, it's primarily SaaS. We're going to charge a setup fee and have a monthly recurring. We're also going to offer each publisher ad revenue, in which case we'll actually do a revenue share. Right now, we've secured a strategic partner, the local newspaper group. They have a relationship with 8,000 newspapers, and they've actually projected $1 million sales for next year. In terms of our competitive advantage, what we have is we can actually provide a client with their own native app. This is actually something that some of the major publishers don't actually have. We have a strategic partner, the local newspaper group. And our system, what we've done is we've developed an automated system. So once we set up our clients, they basically can publish at will without really any input from us. And again, we've actually had 4 years of app development. In terms of our go-to-market plan, we're going to leverage our strategic partner. We also will have inside sales team based here in Northern California. And we're forecasting $2.5 million next year. This is my team. This represents 130 years of experience. And where we are today is that our 1.0 Ready Edition is complete. We have paying beta clients. And I've actually secured a $50,000 SBA loan. And we actually plan to go live next month. What we're looking for right now is a $500,000 investment. We've already received a commitment for $150,000. And this will be actually used for sales and marketing and in continued development. And that ends my presentation, so I'm actually open to address any questions right now.
Just taking a little coffee break. By the way, there's some coffee there and some drinks over there. We start, let's make it short because we're running out of time over here. I apologize.
All right, make it short. Wow. By the way, it's little history. It turns out when the web first broke around 97, 98, there was a few startups trying to do the same thing to help the small media to get on the web. What's your sense of the market opportunity here? Because you have an issue as you get to larger customers, at some point they decide to own their own technology. So what's your read on?
Well, you know, when the publishers first approached us, and we wanted to develop a unique solution for them. It's prohibitively expensive if you think of what a small publisher is. And they really don't have a budget. Probably the biggest competitor right now is Adobe. And basically, to have their smallest package is $15,000 a year. And most publishers can't afford that. We've talked to a number of publishers, newspapers, magazines, and they're excited because they don't really know how to do this. And our price point is really that much, a little bit better than having a cell phone bill. It's really not that expensive.
How many do you think that is?
Well, the market is 70,000. I don't really know in terms of how many people will be able to sell. I mean, it's just a guess. I can make forecast. From our price point, we're projecting, at 1,000. The first year we're looking at trying to get 200 customers. And that's going to get us, we have a target of about 200 customers, and that'll get us to our mark.
So help me, I'm a little bit confused. It sounded like you've done a bunch of work with these various clients over some period of time.
Yeah, so that's fair enough. So I bring up the fact that we're an app development shop just to build our credibility. We're actually rolling out a new product. Actually, our investor wants us to basically, it'll be its own entity itself. It'll be Ready Edition. So
you've been a service provider for these various clients for the last how long?
So basically, if anybody here, if you guys have a startup and need app development, come see me. Shameless plug. But yes, we basically are an app development shop. And we've been working on this project on the side. and it's gotten some legs, and now I'm an investor in.
So are you able to cross-venture them, or there's the whole IP issue that you
Yeah,
built?
we're going to transfer. I've been talking to Lawyer Land about this, but we're going to transfer the technology, and essentially, Ready Edition will have its own dedicated resources, and where it doesn't have dedicated resources, Ready Edition will be a client of Aptology.
No, I don't know.
Barry to enter, why can't Adobe eat you for lunch?
It's interesting because our funder, actually, he's a hedge fund manager, and he talked to, I pitched him. And interestingly enough, at the same time, the CTO of Adobe actually pitched him exactly the same thing that we're doing. And I'm like, holy crap, we're done. And he goes, no. Adobe is going to be attacking the high-end market. They're going to be attacking the high-end publishers, right? And what he sees us as Adobe's more like Intuit and Oracle. They're more like SAP and Oracle. We're like Intuit. We're going to be looking at the small clients. And I've actually talked to a number of small publishers, and they've looked at the Adobe solution. It's not affordable. If you're making, if you just have a small magazine or a small newspaper, you're making maybe about $200,000 a year or $500,000, and you got a staff of 10 or so, you can't afford that.
Okay, well, I have a question. How long would it take you to get the money from SBA?
Oh, that was a long process. The lawyers, the banker said it'd be a month, and then it took us like 4 months before we finally got the funding.
So you got 4 months. That's not bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people over there. Well, good. One question from audience. Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
What is your question?
Oh, so for our app business, we will actually warranty the app will be bug-free for a year. And then our policy is if you pay us to develop the app, that's your intellectual property. We'll provide you with a source code after receiving final payment.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We have number 3, Aptology. That's great. All right. You ready? So far, we had great companies here. I like that. It looks like they're not a startup, they're in starts. All right, yours.
Thank you so much. I have to push for it. Hello, everybody. My name is Richard Wimmer. I'm CEO and founder of Lilan. In 2008, the Beijing Olympics created this new tone and atmosphere setting environment with beautiful ambient lighting. And people talked about it and loved it. It was really a special project. I've been in industry, knew this is really something unique, very expensive, non-affordable. So I had the idea, why can it be done so any place can afford that? And this is where we started to go out, talk to all kind of designers, and we realized there's a reason why they spend billions of dollars every year, because they want to create unique, memorable spaces so that differentiate the owner of places to other ones. They want to be competitive. So what we did is we came up with the idea of using color, light, and motion to transform any place into something unique and memorable. So it can be outstanding to other places. And here, by the way, is a demo on the lower corner. The way it works is we created a platform technology. It's based on a tile, which can be from one unit to a large system, easily arranged. And then you take your smart device, Wi-Fi controlled, change the way the settings you want. And we have on top a software tool so you can create motion and different lighting settings. This platform technology is really about elegance, easy to use, and simplicity. And anybody can create the content with it. A third element, which is very crucial for that, is the connectivity to the cloud. So for example, designers have multiple clients that can update it, maintain it, create different content. Or we have third-party people who create content and sell it through our website. So altogether, this is really an ecosystem and generates a lot of user engagement. Here's an example on the left upper corner showing about the arrangement, because it's configurable, so you can really arrange it in all the ways you want it to. And then the right picture of it shows the discontinuous solution, for example. So imagine you have this sweeping light going through with a lot of effects. The lower two pictures show the effect of the content into the room. And I'm very happy to say that we have a couple of customers, one in San Francisco, downtown. It's an accelerator program, and here in Palo Alto as well. So we signed up more and more customers. All right, talking about the market. Again, our solution can be applied to the broad range, residential as well as commercial. But we do really target the commercial space because that's the space we know how to get into the market and it's scalable. We target the mid-tier ranges like the bars, restaurants, hotels. So not the Las Vegas and not so much the private homes. And that market itself in alone has in the US 1.4 million places. So we calculated a $1.3 billion market. The way we did it is in this bottom-up approach. You have 100,000 designers, you have 60,000 architects, certified architects, and you know how much money to spend per project, how many to do. You get 1.3 billion revenue market. And if you go differently from like top-down or an equivalent market, it ends up in the same range. An important factor to this, getting to market strategy, is for us the channels. So our customers are really the owners of places, but we market to the designers because they are the one selling it to the customers. And the way it is done to these known prime channels of called manufacturing reps. So we sign up with them and they have a large sales force. Those are the prime channels going into these design houses, helping them on the design efforts. And also the parallel channels of trade shows and magazines and so forth. In terms of competition, we do have a truly unique product because there's a lot of low-end LED panels, but they're not interconnected and really intelligent. There are two companies that offer this high-end solution, but they're very thick, very modular-based, complicated, high pain point, and they're 8x more expensive. So this is where my vision tied in, that we have something affordable and easy to use. And that's why we have a unique product on the market. The team, we are three technical founders. Myself, I've been in the industry for a while, came from a big corporate and did 2 startups. When I knew I wanted to do my startup, I went to the Founder Institute, graduated from there, and this is where I met my co-founder, Dean. He does the product design, and we have a third gentleman in our row who is handling the software. He has a PhD from Stanford, and he has head up a large organization within Microsoft. And we do have an entity in China handling all our assembly and production issues. In terms of financing, so we will have a slow start to get the kinks out. But we expect 300,000 sales in 4 years, which will be about a $50 million revenue. And because we have a commercial product, it is a 50% margin, gross margin, and 35% net margin. So right now, we have in the past raised 600,000 in the angel funds and grants, and we're looking for $900,000 for the next level to bring our product to the selected customers and scale it up. That's it. Thank you.
This is great products. And
Thank you so much.
Could you bring it over here? Just show it.
It's heavy.
Heavy, okay. All right. It's right there. Looks, there's some tilings over there. I saw it. Yeah. Good. Okay, that helps. By the way, in the pitching competitions, if you have a product, I mean, if you're in a products, we bring it on. Even if it's not work, at least you show it, handing out. It helps. Thank you. Question.
Where are your production facilities, and what are some of the challenges with then you're dealing with order sizes and all of that?
So our production is north of Shanghai, and we do mostly final assembly. So we keep the control of the quality as well as the source code. But we use third parties to do all the production support with it. And the challenges will be really about scalability. That's for sure. Quality control.
What's barrier to entry for competition? What's your secret sauce without giving away?
We filed 2 patents, PCT, and I've been a domain expert, been in this industry for a long time. It's, I mean, we spent some time on it. It's big corporates don't develop the speed we can do, and we only have seen a handful of companies, and they're looking over our shoulders very closely. So it's a hardware space.
What if I got a giant LCD monitor and put a picture on it,
right,
swirling?
But
I mean, I'm trying to. What's unique and powerful about you?
This is really scalable in the large scale. TVs don't really scale,
You mentioned that the price is like by a factor of X is lower.
Right. So
What's the average cost?
So
on
we
this?
charge $150 per tile, and I have to make also plug in. We will start a pre-order campaign. If anybody interested, please let me know.
So $150 is per
tile.
square foot, or
Yeah, exactly, per square foot per tile. Yeah.
square foot.
So if you look at the Las Vegas place and you have like a couple of square meters, it costs you $10,000, and we can offer it at $2,000-$3,000, and that's the reason why places will be able to afford that.
Now, let's say I live in Toronto, Canada, and I want to order this. You won't be able to install it, or would you be taking that
No,
order?
so we do at the beginning this pre-order for anybody who's interested, but we soon will target very strongly into the professional industry, into through the lighting manufacturing reps, and they help the support.
So, help me get on the evidence of traction. How many people have been wanting to buy this, and how many have you installed? And
So we have a demo coming up in 2 weeks here in Palo Alto. We have 5 customers signed up with contracts. We have ongoing discussions with different designers. So because we have a unique product and there's nothing really similar to that, so there's a lot of interest. But it's also for us getting out and getting the next round of funding to support the products, because we have to ship soon. We have 100 units, and that's not enough.
Can you do video besides just pretty pictures?
You mean this video?
Can you do a
Sta-
TV instead?
No, it's really meant to be as a artistic art integration.
Okay. Good. Well, I see a lot of excitement beyond what I saw in your presentation in terms of the market opportunity. But in any case, just one question, this might be ahead of where you are, and that is, have you happened to have any discussions with other distribution channels, any building material companies?
Yes, because I've been in the industry, so I talked to some of the rep guys and the different distribution companies, and we have a unique product. They love it. There's a high margin in there, so they say, when you're ready, So for us, it's about the next step, signing up. You're right. Once we have our raising finished and start the production, we sign them up as well and go into the market. There are 3-4 of them here in the Bay Area, and then we scale up outwards.
can you get additional POs from the people that are all excited? I mean, you're in this middle of a chicken egg kind of moment.
Yeah.
And if they're excited about it, and if they're willing to provide a PO, it would help, evidence, certainly investors, to maybe walk across the bridge.
I agree, and it's what we developed until February, and then I started to present to some investors, and they said, you have no traction. So I went in February out,
Evidence.
2-3 weeks exactly, and so we have more and more discussions. It's for me coming in from all directions, sales, pitching, and everything. So it definitely more and more over time.
And welcome to Silicon Valley.
Thank you so much.
It is well, I have a question for you. Is this has to do anything connected with the music? Is it music?
Yeah, that's a lot of people ask. They want to have this
Yeah.
connection, audiovisual. The software integration we have to do. We haven't done it, but we definitely will do that.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
these distributors and what I've just asking, but do you have a LOI for any of them?
We do have some, yes, correct.
So did you have done the beta? Is it any? You have a real video of any of these places?
Yeah, we have one. This is actually a real video.
So this is real. This is the actual
this
place.
is in our office, yeah. This is in our
So
office.
that's your office. But
Yeah.
do you have any installation in anybody's
No,
home?
in 2 weeks is coming one here in Palo Alto, then in San Francisco in a couple of weeks. So they're coming in now.
How much is going to cost if I
This
want to
one-
have this in my home, if I can afford it?
Depends on size, but this would be a $5,000 solution, and if you have 4 of this, would be $600.
So it's about between $600 to $5,000.
Depends on size, yes.
That's a good price.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you
you so
very
much.
much. And by the way, your number is number 23.
We have to do the American Idol.
Yeah, number 20. We're going to bring you back and have you sing. But a great presentation. Good luck. Sit down. We'll have another. Before we go to the next presenter, I just couldn't help but recognize and see there's a couple of kids in here and a very young, and then with the parents over here. And it's very lovely. It's just wonderful. And I have a 21 years old son. And live in New York. I came right after 9/11 here, and I wanted to be here in Silicon Valley, which is wonderful. And another reason was he come to this ambience and learn about this, and he is, and I'm so proud to say that this young generation, they're all about with Apple, with what they have. I know they get a lot of attentions about, it's hard to sit on a family table these days and without having one of them sell your phones or texting, but it turned out to be good, and so proud. And he has a company, is 1 year it does in gaming, and very successful one. Just being around, startup, being around this great spirit of Silicon Valley we have, and I'm so proud of that. And the gaming is very big, and now it's evolving. The crowdfunding, as one of our mentioned, that's over $30 million or $38 million with Star Citizen and Chris Anderson, and it's big. So.